Hey, remember when Team Meat said that the Steam controller worked well with Super Meat Boy and everybody laughed and doubted the hell out of it? Well, first of all, the controller still looked like this, but second of all, it can and does work really well if you're willing to try something new. As I touched on in my very first Mastering the Steam Controller video, this controller is fantastic for 2D games after adjusting a few settings. It's a new way to play that feels a little finicky at first, but over time it feels more comfortable than playing on a normal D-pad. Certainly more comfortable than the 360 controller's D-pad anyway. We'll be using these settings on Shovel Knight today, but feel free to use them on any 2D platformer, Metroidvania, emulator, whatever. It's just one simple tweak anyway, and it's one that we touched on in the very first video. Go into the left trackpad settings and turn Requires Click to Off. From there on, it's just a matter of practice. I mean, I really wish there was more I could say. Enjoying 2D platformers on the Steam controller is less about adjusting the settings and more about holding it and pressing it right. Rather than just flatly pressing your thumb on the D-pad like you would with a PS4 controller or something, you kinda have to angle your thumb. There's a very good reason why the Steam controller kind of has an inward design. They want you using your thumb in a more pointed and accurate way. It's not going to feel that good at first, and I can attest to that. But over time, it becomes more accurate and speedy to just quickly tap a direction rather than make the effort to push a direction. If you've ever seen people who are way better playing fighting games than I am make tons of inputs on the Steam controller, you see what I mean. If you need a speedy D-pad and not one of those lame NES speed boards, this is it. But since we're basically relearning the D-pad, why are we playing a game like Shovel Knight, which demands accuracy and speed? Well, first of all, its opening level is nice and easygoing enough to get new players into it before ramping up the difficulty later. It subscribes to that old Nintendo philosophy of easing players into new ideas slowly, so that they get it before it gets more challenging. If you don't want to play Shovel Knight, or just don't have it, well, first of all, buy it, because it's fantastic. But let's do a thought experiment. Which game did you learn the D-pad on? This might be super early gaming history for some of you. I mean, for me, it was Pokemon Crystal. For you, it might go back to Super Mario World, or even an older Mario game than that. We'll cover emulators starting next week, but if you want to go legit, Shovel Knight shares those same old-school design philosophies. It doesn't expect you to be super up-to-date hardcore gamer who knows everything about everything. A child could sit down with this game and enjoy it. What better kind of game to learn a new controller on than that? Once that's out of the way, feel free to challenge yourself with other, harder platformers like Super Meat Boy or VVVVVV. Or play a more easygoing puzzle platformer like Braid or Inside. Or play a Metroidvania like Axiom Verge or Guacamelee. Seriously, there's tons of great 2D platformers of all kinds on Steam, and whatever kind of experience you're looking for is out there waiting. See you next week for Shovelry! And also for emulators. I'm sorry, I just like saying Shovelry a lot.